I promised, told y'all it would be later in the afternoon before I came home. I had to get me some rest, man. I was tired. And also, I needed to switch it up a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I get tired of talking about stuff relating to black YouTube. You reach a point where you just don't want to hear it no more. And so I'm happy to do something else. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, I know I get a lot of views out of it and a lot of people come and watch. But you just get tired of it. You know, and I know it. Everybody's talking about the dumb interview that Kevin Samuels did last night or whatever. I ain't in no rush to get around to it because I didn't hear nothing in it that's any different than the stuff he already says. So many people find it hard to believe that I find what he's doing boring. Everybody's so excited and so in love with his content that they just can't believe that somebody thinks it's just boring. It is. And also, people, we need to learn what words mean. If someone says that they're going to do something or they're not going to do something, and then they change their mind and do it, that's not being hypocritical. That means they changed their mind. Being hypocritical is when you criticize someone for doing something that you're doing. That's what the word means. A lot of you guys just use words online and you don't know the meanings because they sound good or they make you feel powerful. But if I say I'm not going to roast this guy over here and then I change my mind and roast him, that's not hypocritical. That's me changing my mind. Hypocritical is when I roast somebody for doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. That's what the word means. So can we all start learning English? Anyways, the Young Turks. The Young Turks has a bad habit of going after people with this left-leaning narrative that doesn't tell the whole story. They do a lot of half-truths and whatever to make themselves look better. I used to like Cenk Uygur, the guy that started the Young Turks, back when he was on real TV. And he wasn't a left-leaning douchebag like he is now. I don't too much like what he's doing now because he tells a lot of lies. And he does this left-leaning woke stuff that is really dumb. Being woke is dumb. Okay? Guys, you can't be left or right. You got to be in the middle. Being too far left is wrong. Being too far right is wrong. You got to learn how to have a balance. You can't, you know. And these people are just so far left with the things that they say that it's idiotic. But they're going after Brett Favre. Apparently they're trying to basically say he's racist or something. I don't know. But anybody who's ever seen Brett Favre, watched him play football, you know the man's not a racist. Just because he lives in Mississippi and he's country, it don't make him a racist. And the Young Turks need to absolutely stop this kind of stuff. Just slandering people for no reason.
I find it hard to believe, first of all, that he intentionally meant to kill George Floyd.
I agree with that. I said the same thing. And I'm a black man. I don't think that cop intentionally meant to kill that man. I think he kneeled on his neck. He went overboard. But I don't think he was trying to purposely kill him. And that's not a horrible thing to say. But if you say that, you're a racist somehow.
This great philosopher is Brett Favre.
Hello, Mr. President. My question is, the NBA and the NFL are struggling to lower ratings as fans clearly do not want political messaging mixed with their sports.
That's true. That they actually took a poll of fans, and asked them if they wanted the NBA to be doing Black Lives Matter demonstrations before every game. They asked if they wanted the NFL doing it. Fans unanimously said, no, we don't want that in our sports. So they're trying to crucify Brett Favre for echoing what sports fans are saying. Brett Favre is not the only person saying, keep this junk out of our sports. He's just somebody that they targeting to try to make it seem like he's a racist white man. But the truth is, I stopped watching the NBA. I haven't watched the NBA game in a long time because I got tired of every single game they pull out this banner that says Black Lives Matter and they're saluting all these dead criminals like George Floyd, but they don't salute the dead police officers that are killed by criminals. I just stopped watching and I haven't been back, and I'm not going to watch NBA ever again. I don't care about it. They ruined it for me. I'm a lifelong basketball fan, but I'm not watching anymore. I watch Chinese basketball before I watch the NBA.
An athlete who thinks athletes should not speak out politically.
I think we make too much money to voice opinion.
I know when I turn on a game, I want to watch a game. I want to watch players play.
Okay, here's another lie that they're telling. They're saying an athlete who don't want athletes to speak out on politics. Brett Favre is not an athlete. He's retired. So they're trying to compare a retired athlete to ones that are still on the court. Once you retire, you can do what you want. But while you're playing, you should play the game and stay out of politics. What's wrong with that? A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. TYT, they're so left-leaning. They everybody should be woke and everybody should be speaking on politics. If you're making $10 million a year to throw a football or catch a football, go make your money. Once you're retired and you want to be a politician, go for it. But you can't say that Brett Favre's in the wrong because he's an athlete. No, he's a former athlete. This man don't play sports anymore. So you can't compare him to a guy that's playing right now. This is what TYT does, though. This is what they do, man. These guys are so low down with this.
While Favre, an athlete, makes his feelings known
I don't think that we should defund the police in no way, shape, or form.
on public policy.
He's not an athlete. And guess what? He's right. We should not defund the police. Look what's going on right now in Minneapolis, where they have whole neighborhoods that don't have police service because the police are afraid they're going to be arrested and charged. So they won't even show up to certain neighborhoods anymore. And look at the crime spike in those neighborhoods. Makes sense to me.
Typical white conservative male that's stuck in his own little world that doesn't give a damn about anything that doesn't impact him.
Oh, great. We got super woke Black Lives Matter advocate Shannon Sharp. A guy who got his job because he sounds like a slave who just got his freedom. This is why I don't like watching Undisputed. Shannon Sharp is one of the most uneducated, sorry excuses for a sports person I've ever seen. He sounds like an illiterate slave when he talks. He really does. He's a wannabe Stephen A. Smith, but he don't quite have the education to be Stephen A. Smith. I can't listen to him. Whenever he talks, I cannot listen to him. Because all he does is this uber woke crap that doesn't serve a purpose, that don't help anybody. I don't know how Skip Bayless puts up with it.
This is FS1's Shannon Sharp. We have shown how tight Favre is with Trump from their days golf.
What's wrong with being tight with Donald Trump? You can be friends with Donald Trump and not care about what Donald Trump does. So here's more guilt by association. Because Brett Favre is friends with Donald Trump, that makes him a problem. Hey, you know who else is friends with Donald Trump? Tom Brady. Are you going after him? No, you're not. Because Tom Brady don't fit the mold of a southern white man, that you can turn into a racist. Tom Brady's off in Florida, chilling with the models and all that stuff. So he don't fit the mold that they're trying to fit here. They're trying to make Brett Favre out to be this redneck country racist that don't like black people. And it's just not true. It's just simply not true.
golfing and snapping photos on the green to his public support via Twitter and interviews for the walking, breathing white supremacist to remain in office. However, there is likely...
So, because you wanted Trump to win the presidency, that makes you a white supremacist? Does it matter that I voted for Trump? Does that make me a white supremacist? Because I voted for him and I'm black. I liked his tax policies. I liked his business approach. I liked what was making me money. Now that Joe Biden is president, my company is probably going to start having to pay more taxes. So I had a reason for voting for Trump. I wanted to keep my business taxes low. But am I a white supremacist because I voted for him? See, this is the trouble you get into when you do guilt by association. You lump in people that you don't intend to lump in. Like black people.
A story you missed that we covered over a year ago.
By the way, this guy is one of these super left-leaning TYT people. And he's on TYT Sports. He's on the little offshoot channel. He's not on the main TYT channel. But he's still employed by the main TYT channel. So they're all responsible. If one of your employees goes off the rip and does this, then the whole company's responsible.
Maybe Favre is pulling a Trumpian card to basically try and bury this story as much as possible with other negative headlines. Here is what you should know. Brett Favre promised to repay money he stole from those on welfare in his home state, and lo and behold, he never did. The Mississippi State Education Center paid him over $1 million in welfare money to promote a federally funded anti-poverty initiative called Families First for Mississippi. Favre tweeted that, in short, his agent is to blame, James Bus Cook was the reason for this whole dust-up, blah, 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 blame.
So let me get this straight. Because Brett Favre haven't paid back some money that he got from the government, that makes him a racist and a white supremacist. Yes, he owes money to the government that he hasn't paid back yet. I'm not going to deny that. I know about the story. But does that make him a racist and a white supremacist? Because he got money from the government and haven't paid it back yet. Do you know how many people get money from the government and haven't paid it back yet? You got companies that got $5, $6, $7, $8 million in government loans during the PPP program and they haven't paid it back yet. So are they white supremacists too? Because that's the narrative here. He's a white supremacist, a racist, and he's a friend of Donald Trump because he hasn't paid back money that he owes. This is what TYT does, guys. This is what they do.
Blame, deflect. Thing is, they are at a crossroads with conflicting reports of Cook saying he had nothing to do with it while others said he did. Though officials have not accused him of a crime, Favre said he would refund the money. He made an initial payment of $500,000. Favre has not made any more. So what exactly happened here? Brett Favre took a meeting with former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant. Then somehow Favre secured a meeting.
Oh, by the way, I guess that makes him racist too. Because former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant was also accused of being a Klan member, a racist, a white supremacist. So everybody that Brett Favre hangs with apparently is all white supremacists. That's the reason why they made sure to put that on there.
With the Mississippi Department of Human Services, which administers welfare grants. Allow me to reiterate here. He took a meeting with people who control welfare money in the state of Mississippi. Nancy New and her son Zach ran the Mississippi community.
They're also white supremacists too. I'm just making sure we're going by the TYT standards. So all these southern white people, they're all white supremacists. They're all out to hurt black folks.
Education Center.
Of course I'm being facetious, but you get my point. This is what you get whenever you look at TYT videos. Everybody's a white supremacist, a racist. Everybody's against the black people. They don't understand this, but there are some black people like me who don't want to be treated like a victim. I'm not a victim. I don't want people treating me with kid gloves like I have to be protected from everybody. I know how to protect my family and protect myself. So channels like TYT have gotten big off of this trash, but they're just wrong.
a nonprofit that receives a majority of its budget from taxpayer dollars intended to help people out of poverty. New agreed to allocate $5 million in funds for an alleged new volleyball arena where Favre's daughter competed at his old school, Southern Miss. They claimed it was a fabulous project to benefit the undeserved population. This obviously...
Of course they had to drag the man's daughter into it. Because, you know, on this website, if you talk from a conservative point of view, like I do most of the time, you get censored a lot. You get demonetized, you get flagged. But if you talk about people's kids and you do it from the left, it's okay. There was no reason to bring Brett Favre's daughter into this story. But that's what they do on here. On YouTube, if you're coming from the left, you can say anything about anybody and nobody calls it out.
It never happened, according to those who worked with the news. They paid the $5 million in cash, by hand. Not suspicious at all, obviously. Nancy and Zach New are set to appear in court.
You know, nobody ever talks about all of the things that Democrats do. Nobody ever talks about all the cash deals that Democrats make up in Washington. Or in our local governments where Democrats are getting briefcases filled with money to do certain stuff. You notice we only talk about it when Republicans do it. Guys, do you know that Congresswoman AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? When she got elected to Congress, she had $400 in her bank account. $400. She hasn't even served a full term yet, and she's already a millionaire. How did that happen? Because the position she's in Congress only pays about $200,000 a year. So how does she go from $400 in her bank account to being a millionaire all of a sudden? Because everybody in politics is getting handouts. Everybody in politics is getting a briefcase with money stuck in their face. That's how she went from being broke to a millionaire in less than one term in Washington. Why do you think everybody in Washington is rich? Everybody in the House of Representatives, every senator, congressman, all of them are millionaires. How is that possible? Well, we all know how it's possible because they're all taking bribes. That's why I said when I go to Washington, I'm going to tell people I'm taking bribes because they're all doing it in secret. I'm just going to do it in public. Hey, you want me to do something? Where's my money? But they're trying to make it seem like the Republicans are corrupt when all of them are. Yeah, Republicans take handouts from big business, but so does Democrats. We need to stop this. People like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett, rich Democrats who give money to Democrats.
In October in connection with the largest public embezzlement scheme in state history. In all, auditors' agents arrested a half dozen people for allegedly conspiring to embezzle a total of $4 million, which includes the payments to Prevacus.
Hey, you see this story he's reading about people getting arrested? You notice that Brett Favre hasn't been arrested, right? Because if Brett Favre was caught up in this, don't you think they'd put him in jail? If he was a part of this? See, reading this story is just trying to make Brett Favre look bad. He's reading a report that has nothing to do with Brett Favre. Brett Favre didn't steal anything. He didn't embezzle anything. So why are you reading a story about embezzlement? Because you're trying to make Brett Favre look bad. This story has nothing to do with him. But that, like I said, when TYT targets somebody, this is how they do it.
Yes. Prevacus, a fugazi company created by Favre that claims a nasal spray will reduce harmful swelling and inflammation after a concussion. Mississippi Today wrote
that company wasn't created by Favre. He's one of the people involved with it, but he didn't create it. So that's another lie they telling. He's a part of it. He gave them some money. He invested in it. That's just like right now. I can go on my phone and there are stocks that I invest in. If the companies that I invest in turn out to be bad companies or turn out to be companies that are breaking the law, should I go to jail because I invested in it? Like, I can look on my shit right now. I got stocks that I invest in from companies that I don't know anything about. So if one of these companies turns out to be a criminal organization. Should I go to jail just because I bought stock? Should I? Should any of y'all who buy stock go to jail because you bought stock in a company that turned out to be a bad company? No, you're just playing the stock market. You shouldn't have to go to jail for that. But this all goes back to one thing. How does any of this stuff they're saying make Brett Favre a racist? Because that's the premise they're trying to set up. They're trying to make you think Brett Favre is a racist and a white supremacist. How does any of this crap prove that?
What are the connection Nancy has with former Governor Bryant and current Governor Tate Reeves? Reeves, an ally to Trump, should be questioned ASAP.
You notice they keep saying Donald Trump. They have to make sure they keep saying Trump because they gotta make him try to look as bad as possible. So they try to make Favre and Trump, Favre and Trump. They make it seem like Brett Favre is his vice president or something.
John Davis, the former HR director, did not make new report how her org spent the money. Now more than $65 million since 2016. He has also been arrested. The MCEC sent Favre Enterprises, the football players' for-profit company, a payment of $500,000 in December of 2017 and an additional $600,000 in July of 2018. In the middle of 2019, Favre told Men's Health he had invested nearly $1 million of his own money into Prevacus.
All right. You see what I just told y'all earlier? Now, earlier this guy said that Brett Favre owned Prevacus. Y'all heard him say it. Y'all heard him say it. He said Brett Favre owned the company. Now he's saying that Brett Favre invested in the company. I told y'all these dudes lie. In this same thing, he said that a company that Brett Favre owned. That's what he said. Y'all heard it too. So now he done went from owning the company to just being an investor in the company. I told y'all, they lie. What did I tell y'all? Brett Favre does not own the company. He invested money in the company. There's a difference between owning it and being an investor. This dude straight lied in his own video. His own video, he's just straight lied. And I guarantee you, all the left-leaning liberals who watched this video, I guarantee you none of them picked up on that lie. Because they didn't want to pick up on it. You accused him of owning Prevacus, and then you change it to he invested in Prevacus. All right. This is why I don't listen to channels like TYT. Because they're just simply liars.
That appears to be a lie. Meanwhile, the state was serving fewer and fewer poor families through the federal program, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families.
So Brett Favre's a bad person for not feeding needy families. I don't feed needy families because it ain't my job. And everybody knows that Mississippi is the poorest state in the union. Mississippi has been the poorest state in the union for about 40 years. It's always had a bad healthcare system. It's always had a bad welfare system. Mississippi's always been like this. I don't know why we're shocked.
Formerly known as welfare, that the defendants were allegedly using as a slush fund. The news in their efforts to...
None of this stuff that he's reading is fact, by the way. It's all a news report speculation. None of it has been proven as fact.
enrich themselves, allegedly transferred $2.15 million from a...
You know, I'm looking at all this. I'm not seeing Brett Favre's name in any of this. Mississippi Community Education Center, Nancy knew, Zach knew, but I'm not seeing Brett Favre. I didn't see him transfer $2 million to his account. So why are you going after Brett Favre when it looks like these other people are the ones doing it? Based on the story,
federal grant, temporary assistance for needy families, into personal investments in Prevacus. Mississippi Today put it more bluntly, the company that eventually received $2.15 million in allegedly stolen welfare funds.
Okay, so Brett Favre is responsible for this company because he invested in it. Now, I want y'all to keep something in mind. When you invest in a company, you're not getting money, you're giving it. So Brett Favre gave this company $1 million. So that means that Brett Favre was scammed too. that means that he got scammed out of his money. Along with these other folks. Because he didn't get anything back for it. He gave money. So how does that make him a white supremacist again? He clearly stated that Brett Favre invested $1 million. He didn't say Brett Favre got $1 million. He invested $1 million. So that means Brett Favre spent money. He didn't make money. So once again, how does this make Brett Favre a white supremacist or a racist or whatever they're trying to call him?
QB's company, Favre Enterprises, was paid $1.1 million by MCEC for appearances, promos, autograph sessions, speaking engagements, and much more, none of which he attended. MCEC bought 3 cars with welfare money, each worth more than $50,000.
Okay, that's not true. Brett Favre has been doing a lot of speaking tours and all kinds of shit. He's been showing up to autograph signings and all kinds of stuff. That's not true. He might have missed a couple, but Brett Favre has been all over the place on all different talk shows. He's like, y'all saw the clip at the beginning of this video. All those different random shows that he's been on. Brett Favre has been all over the place doing speaking tours and stuff. So they not being honest. He has been going out doing what he's paid to do.
For new and 2 sons. Salaries, cell phones, and other expenses were also paid using welfare money. The vehicles included a 2018 Nissan Armada, a Chevy Silverado, and a Ford F-250. In each case, the vehicles registered to MCEC, but auditors said the vehicles were for personal.
So wait a minute. The vehicles are registered to MCEC. Last time I checked, Brett Favre's name was Brett Favre. So these 3 vehicles that were bought or leased out or whatever, they're not in Brett Favre's name, and you have no evidence that Brett Favre received these vehicles or that Brett Favre used them. Brett Favre is an ex-NFL star with millions of dollars and his own vehicles. So why would he need a 2018 Nissan? These vehicles have nothing to do with Brett Favre. Anyway, I think that's the end of the video. Yeah, that's the end of the video. You want to know what they proved in this video? They proved that they know how to twist stuff to try to hurt people. They know how to leave out stuff to try to make a person look bad. They know how to use guilt by association tactics. That's all they proved in this video. I didn't see anything in that video that can convince me that Brett Favre is a racist or a white supremacist. I didn't see a single thing. They need to stop. TYT, you need to stop. For real. Anyways, guys. I'm finna take off and go get me something to eat, something to drink. Cause I looked in the fridge and there's nothing in there to drink. There's no Gatorade, no tea, no nothing. So I gotta go get me something. I'm probably gonna be on my smaller channels today. I'm gonna give my main channel a rest because I've been on there pretty tough the last few days. And I need to do a little work on my other channel. So that's probably where I'll be today. I definitely got to be on my League of Darkness channel. We got to do that stream tonight. That Kevin Samuels guy. What's his name? Rubel Zaman. That guy. We got to talk about him. And I just want to say this too before I get off here. Everyone has their leaders. Everyone has their gods. Everyone has the people that they follow. You manosphere guys, you cannot get mad at people for not wanting to follow your God. You can't get mad at people for not wanting to follow your leader. Kevin Samuels is your leader, but he does not lead all black people. He simply leads your little online group. And y'all need to understand that. Y'all get upset when other people don't want to follow your leader, but he's not my leader. He's not these guys' leader. So we don't have to follow him. We don't have to like him. We don't have to be nice to him or nice about him because he is not our leader. He's yours. You want to worship him, go right ahead. But don't try to force other people to. Because you ain't never going to be able to force me to worship another man. Like I said, I don't even worship God, so I know I ain't going to worship a man. Y'all need to just chill out with that stuff. People have a right to criticize him. People have a right to call out inconsistencies in his story. People have a right to say they disagree with him without having a swarm of angry bees come down on him and try to sting him. Criticism does not mean that you hate the person. Criticism does not mean that you want to harm the person. It just means you are critiquing something that they are saying or doing. And we need to be adults about it. That's really it. And with that, I'm going to get my butt off here. I'll be back on in a little while. Like I said, I'm going to be on my smaller channels today, so don't expect me on the Mad Black Entertainment channel because I've been using that channel way too much, and honestly, it needs a couple days to chill. I might be back on it tomorrow. I don't know. But I will get with y'all in a few hours.